And we're on. We're working. We're in.
Cans opening. Today we're drinking a nice bright pink can of LaCroix because I'm a alpha male, baby. I'm a manly man.
I'm having filtered water from a Brita filter.
Oh, we are both just such manly men right here. Whoa, what was that?
When you're 43, that's what matters.
Exactly.
Lots of fluids.
Oh, man. Speaking of 43-year-olds, did you watch the Jets game today, Mike?
No, but I saw what happened. I was sleeping, and then I woke up to a lot of angry people.
You didn't miss much.
And Twitter, and no, I didn't.
You did not miss much. Basically, I don't know if you know this, but isn't Aaron Rodgers like 43 almost, or he is? I'm not sure, but it's he could not save the Jets from themselves once again. They did something that they routinely do, which is lose to New England. Even this new reboot version of New England that can't win games,
they lost
them.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I wish we had one of our other random rotating cast on who are bigger into the Jets, because my only emotion behind this is just I feel bad for Jets fans. You know, like you and I are Giants fans, but the thing is, we had no expectations coming in the year. We knew we were going to suck.
Right.
You and I were debating, are they going to win like 2 games? They're going to win 1 or 3 or whatever. The Jets were expected to like go places and do things, and they're not.
Yeah, I remember when we had the show with Faisal, I picked them to win 9 games, and you guys were like shocked that I went so low. And even that looks like too high because they would have to win the rest of the games now.
I think he had 13. Forward. He had 12 or 13, right? Yeah. So I just feel bad because, like I said, they came in with legitimate playoff and maybe even championship hopes.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are only halfway through the season, and they're just the Jets again. And that has to feel bad, just coming in the top of the world and just womp, 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 womp.
Yeah. I was talking to Brian last week when we were trying to upload his video after the show, and it reminded me of when the Giants went 2-7 to start the year under Dave Brown and Kent Graham, that era. And it was this same feeling. It was just the most horrendous thing you've ever seen. And then surprisingly, the Giants won they lost 7 in a row to go 2-7. Then they won their next 7. They go 9-7. They just missed making the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
The Jets so Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. Okay, I'm just looking. He's 90 in football years. I mean, she's looking like it. But yeah, they would have to win the rest of their games to at least have a miracle of a shot at the playoffs. So it's possible, but unlikely. And the way they're playing, they look awful. But weirder things have happened, I guess. At
this point, because they both suck, every week you watch both and you root for both, but obviously you pick one when there's a gun to your head. But yeah, I'm definitely rooting for my Jets fan friends to have a rebound there, because I know they had some really high expectations coming in. But anyway, speaking of high expectations and failure, let's get to we got to talk about the Yankees, man. This show mostly is going to be about that. Obviously, there we go. He got the hat switched over.
I wasn't hiding. I just wore Nick's shirt today.
Yankees are in the World Series right now, and as of this recording, they are 0-2. They dropped look. I want to focus on Game 1 more than Game 2, because Game 2 was just a regular loss. It was the kind of loss we've seen all year, where the Yankees put 415 runners on base and then either pop out or strike out with 2 outs, and they just couldn't score. Overall, a few mistake pitches kind of did them in, but it was just a loss. It was we got to talk about Game 1. Game 1 is one of the most soul-crushing losses I can remember in my lifetime in Yankees history, honestly. A walk-off in the World Series, that hurts. That hurts, especially when you're 1 out away like that.
And it was a grand slam on top of it.
And it was a grand slam. It could have been a single and they still would have won, but still, the grand slam was more of like an FU.
A lot of people are blaming Aaron Boone.
Yeah, I am
these
too.
Games. I definitely put a lot of blame on him. Look, the players got to hit, and they're not hitting. Again, so far, the people who have showed up have been Stanton, Soto, and the bullpen. But putting in like Chris McMonagle on the fan said he didn't think the Nestor Cortez thing was that catastrophic of a decision.
Oh no, I disagree. But
Should have went with I was gonna say he thought that because, like, it's not like he threw bad pitches. He was throwing strikes, even though it was only 2 pitches.
He threw a 90-mile-an-hour hanger down the center of the plate to a fucking power lefty who is sitting 600 against lefties. No. Okay, this decision by Boone to go, because remember, you have 2 pitchers in that situation. You have a soft tossing finesse lefty who hasn't pitched in a month and a half, and then you have a relief pitcher who's used to pitching in high leverage situations, who's been really good for you in the playoffs so far.
Been on fire, yeah.
And who are you? And who does he go with? He goes with the guy who's completely cold, who hasn't thrown since the middle of last month.
Yeah.
This decision by Boone to put in a starting pitcher with the bases loaded, essentially, versus a relief pitcher who's more tempered to that, is going to go down in history as Aaron Boone's Pete Carroll moment.
Yeah. Well, the thing when he came in, I was like, okay, interesting, because the last time we saw Nestor come in relief is when they moved him out of the starting rotation. He was pissed, and he came in and he looked great.
But even then, he came in a clean inning. He didn't come in a high-stress situation.
Right.
I mean, they literally, the first person he pitched to after being cold for a month and a half was the best hitter in the sport.
The future Hall of Famer. Yeah.
You can make a case. Yeah. If Shohei puts up a couple rings, which, hey, it looks like he might get one this week. Okay. Yeah. If Shohei puts up a couple rings, you can make a case that he's the best player who's ever lived. You could actually make that case in 7 or 8 years and you wouldn't sound crazy. His first hitter was him, and he got a lucky ass out because Verdugo gave his life up to catch that ball.
Yeah, and I have something about that. Yeah.
You know, he thought he was going to have 9 lives, and he did not. He got cute, and he tried to get strike 1 on Freeman and got absolutely owned. That was one of those hits that as soon as he hit the bat, everyone in the bar I was at was like, well, fuck.
You just needed a ground ball to the infield.
Look, you put in Hill in that situation. You put in the actual relief pitcher in that situation who's got the funky delivery, who gets grounded, who gets outs. You win that game. I did not like that decision by Boone. And I'm normally a Boone defender, by the way. I like the fact that he yells at umpires. I like the guy. Yeah. But yeah, no, that decision, like I said, his Pete Carroll moment was that. And the thing is, when I say his Pete Carroll moment, exactly which Pete Carroll moment I mean, because everyone does. Because everyone who's even a casual fan of that sport was like, it was right there in front of you and you chose the wrong thing.
Right. And it gave somebody a ring by mistake again. the meme.
Yeah. So I got to say that decision I really didn't like. And this series should be 1-1. Not 0-2. And right now they're in a hole. So, I mean, let's talk about moving forward, right? Right now, I'm cautiously optimistic going into games 3, 4, and 5 at home because, first of all, you got home field. Second of all, the pitching matchups favor the Yankees in all 3 games. They do.
Right. Yeah. They're going.
Schmidt is better than I always
the guy with the tight pants guy. What's his name?
I always mix up Flaherty and the other guy because they're both generic white guy pitchers for the
I'm blanking on it. Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
Tight pants.
Schmidt is better than who pitched in game 1? Again, they're the same. They're the same person in my head because I don't watch National that often. Yeah. So Buehler and Schmidt's better. Bullpen versus Heel is better, and then it resets. Garrett Cole's better than everybody. So right now, the Yankees are in a position where they could win all 3. The unfortunate situation is they have to win all 3.
If they lose, go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just no. I think I was about to say what you're about to say. So go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say because I also heard this on the radio. Is it something else McMonagle said? I listened to a lot of radio, and he was saying, why wouldn't you even consider putting Garrett Cole in for Game 4 over Heel? Just because he's your best pitcher, and they took him out with 88 pitches. He's going to be rested.
No. In my lifetime, how many times have you seen a team get desperate and go, oh, no, we're just going to put in this guy on 3 days rest and it'll be okay? Most of the time, it doesn't work out. These guys are creatures of habit, especially a guy like Cole who's very vocal about it. The only time I remember it working was Game 7 of the 2004 ALCS when Wakefield beat Kevin Brown because Kevin Brown completely blew up. That is the only time I remember it working. Okay.
So even if the Yankees are down 3-0, you don't consider Game 4 going to Cole out of like, look, we have to win. We're dead.
I mean,
maybe.
Honestly, I don't. Because here's the thing, LA doesn't have anybody to start game. They have a bullpen game. And the danger with bullpen games is this, is bullpen games, you're planning on using 5 to 6 or 7 pitchers. And if any one of those guys just doesn't have it that day, you lose the game. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously I'm not in the office, but I would say that I say stick with the battle plan. He looked pretty good, by the way. And granted, the Guardians don't have as good of an offense as the Dodgers, but Heel for the 4 innings he threw, he had a pretty darn good game last week. I put in Heel, and then that way, if you can get to one of their bullpen guys, put some runs up and win, right? Then you got Cole in game 5, and then it goes back to Rodon, and then I guess Schmidt would be game 7. I mean, well, everyone's available in game 7. But,
everybody's at that point.
Because who cares? What, you're going to injure somebody? They have the whole offseason to recover their soreness or whatever. Unless they totally blow their shoulder out or whatever.
There's no excuse.
Speaking of that, apparently Ohtani's okay, which is good. You never want to root for an injury. If you root for actually finish your thought, and then I want to get to that.
Well, I was going to say a couple things. So Garrett Cole, the whole thing about Garrett Cole, when they pulled him, I was like, oh, okay. I guess he figures it's late in the game. Sometimes late in the game, Cole just unravels, and he gave up the hit, and he's like, oh, he's taking him out. But afterwards, after hearing, obviously everybody had their opinion afterwards, even Jeter and A-Rod were like, why would you do that? He's your best pitcher. He was doing well. He had only 80-something pitches in the 7th. I saw a tweet by Bob Papa, the Giants radio announcer, and he mentioned it doesn't make sense. Why would you go to your bullpen guys after your starter and then use a starter Nestor later in the game? Why wouldn't you use Stroman or Nestor after Cole or even game 2? I think he was talking more about game 2 actually. Why wouldn't you use those guys in an early? So Rodon came out in 3 and whatever quarter innings. Why wouldn't you go to a starter in relief in that situation? But no, you used your relievers there. You wasted them, and then you used Nestor late in game. Like it didn't. These are the decisions that I see Boone making that are just not like it's baseball 101. And you're not making a logical choice.
I agree with you, Mike. My biggest gripe with Boone has always been his bullpen management, and he did this also against the Red Sox in the DS series they lost, and I think it was 18. When he decided to put in Lynn with the bases loaded in like the 3rd or 4th inning instead of putting in a reliever to finish the inning and then put your starting pitcher in a clean inning. He's done this a bunch of times in the playoffs. I don't like it. And the thing I really don't like about it is this. You mentioned a second ago that he said that he put in his like main relievers through this whole game, even though they were losing, and they put him in early. Well, guess what? The Dodgers are really good. And now the Dodgers have had 2 looks at Weaver and 2 looks at Holmes and all these guys who you're going to rely on later in the series. And that's the problem. You saw it happen in the Guardian series. Both those guys got lit up the 3rd, 4th time they got seen because they were being used in every game.
They're tired too.
If you're going to pull a starter in the 2nd or 3rd, you put in somebody to stop the bleeding in that inning, and then you put in a starter in the next inning to give you 3 or 4. That's when you should have used your Stroman or your Nestor, not in the bottom of the 10th of the bases loaded. I'm again, that decision to me is the worst one, and it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna go down in history for Yankee fans as his Pete Carroll moment. I really do think that.
The game 2 thing I wanted to mention is the way he left Stanton on base in the 9th or in the 10th. He could have put in Dominguez to pinch run. That
didn't make a difference. Hold on, I disagree. But finish your thought.
But also, but in the sense of, see, he put in Trevino to pinch hit for Wells. Trevino swings in the first pitch, which was stupid, and then you don't have to put a catcher in exclusively to pinch hit for another catcher. You could have put Dominguez in. This is, I think it was Lori Rubinson on FAN commented on my tweet, where I commented on her tweet and she replied, which was cool of her to do. So she said you could basically put in Dominguez to pinch run and then have Cabrera come up, or Trent Grisham could have pinch hit. And then if it's tied, you could put Trevino in the catch and defense. So it was like in these key moments where you have to make the smartest decision. Boone did not make the smartest decision. It was just very
I
bizarre.
agree. It happened twice in a row. I don't mind the Trevino pinch hit because he's a contact hitter, and I know what Boone was thinking. If this guy can just poke a single, the game is tied.
Which he's done.
I also, exactly, he's done many times. I also don't disagree with the decision to leave Stanton on the thing, because here's the thing, man. Let's say they did tie the game.
Mm-hmm.
You lose Stanton's bat in the 12th or 13th, or when he comes up again. He's the only guy hitting.
Yeah.
If the game was tied then, you hope he can jack another one and you can maybe steal a win. But I agree with you, man. Boone's decision-making has not been good. And let's talk about the Ohtani thing real quick, and then we'll get to the reactionary part of the show. Ohtani, I'm glad he's okay. Apparently he's fine. They announced today he's going to be in Game 3.
Right.
I just want to say, because I commented on a few of the posts on like Instagram and stuff saying like, hey, I'm glad he's okay. I'm a Yanks fan. You know, you never want to see an injury. And it was a mixed reaction. It was a mixed bag from fellow Yankee fans. Some people were saying like, most people, probably 70% were saying like, yeah, no, that's a good thing to say. And then there are a few who are like, no, I want him broken. I want him busted. And it's like, bro, if you're...
It's fear. Fear's the mind killer.
100%. It's fear.
Yeah,
and the thing is, if you are rooting actively for another team's player to get hurt, you're a bitch. Okay?
That means your team sucks.
Yeah, you're a bitch and you're afraid of what's going to happen. Because here's the thing. I'm the opposite mindset. I'm a fan and I'm a gamer. But when I go into a series, man, against another team, especially if it's like in the World Series or a rival team, I want the best possible product on the field against my team. That way, when my team wins, there's no excuses. It's just, hey,
we don't have to hear about it.
We knocked your ace out in the 4th inning, and you lost by 7. Your team sucks. Okay, your best hitter was hitting 400 for a month coming into that series, and we struck him out 8 times that weekend. You suck. Sit down. My team is better than your team, and it would feel hollow and empty if the Yankees would have come back and beaten the Dodgers without Ohtani on the other side. Because then it would have been the what if forever. It would have been, the Yankees only made the World Series because they played against the Royals, and then they only won because Ohtani got hurt. No, I want the best team on the opposition. That way, your team is tested against the best. And that way, if you beat the best, you are the best. So, anybody rooting for an injury is a bitch.
Well, they've been able to handle Ohtani. Ohtani hasn't been Ohtani in the playoffs. Not as bad as Judge, but he hasn't been great. So, it's not like Ohtani. He's a threat always, of course, just like Judge is always a threat, because one mistake, it's all over. But they threw him out stealing the base. They've been keeping him to like 1 hit a game.
Dude, it was funny because I was watching the game. Not to interrupt you, they were saying like Ohtani has like a 91% steal rate or something insane, and then like 2 pitches later he gets gunned down. Yeah, I just remember sitting there like, F you, John Smoltz, and your Yankee hating on the air.
He's such a Captain Obvious when he announces. I can't.
Bitch.
They got on base because they got hits, and that's what they have to do in this game, Bob. Yeah, no kidding. Whatever. But yeah, no, I would like, you want them to beat their guy, because the thing is like, I really wanted to take at least Game 1 because everybody was picking the Yankees to lose, and it was just to say like, hey, the Yankees aren't as bad as you're saying they are, but they haven't been playing.
I'm shocked again. I'm shocked mistakes have been hurting that game because it was Cole against Flaherty, and dude, Flaherty's not that good, and he hasn't been good lately. And that's why I'm saying if the Yanks can win tomorrow and the next day, and they can get to a Game 5, I think that they light him up in Game 5, and then like I said, hopefully they can win all 3 at home. That's the hope. Anyway, let's get over to the reactionary part of the show. Mike, I know you have some old ads and some old oddities for us. I don't know what they are because I sent you a whole list and said, here, pick some of these. So what do you got for us this week?
I got a few. I think we'll start with this.
Okay.
This is not an ad. This is a clip you found of Chris Collingsworth.
Oh, yeah. I found this. I'll introduce this.
Okay.
So my YouTube algorithm is geared towards all kinds of weird, like old TV footage and old commercials, because mostly what you and I look for on this show. And we did a Chris Collingsworth ad a few months ago. So my algorithm, I guess, put this on there. And I saw this last night, and I'm like, oh, my goodness. This aired on national television in the early 80s during halftime of a Monday Night Football game. So just play it. It's like
through those activities in just a moment.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Shout out to Honest Tech.
Yes, shout out to them for uploading this piece of hilarity.
Before all these single men and women everywhere, but how about the professional athlete that's single? Well, he makes lots of money. He's the center of attention, and there is a certain amount of mystique that surrounds his off-the-field antics. Well, recently I spoke to some of the most eligible NFL players to find out if they really are swinging singles or just how much of that is really a myth.
I think being a bachelor and playing football have a lot of similarities between them. You go out and there's not anything in the world any more competitive than going out and trying to find the girl.
Chris Collingsworth is a wide receiver with all the right moves on and off the field. Like the crafty player he is, you never know when to take him seriously. So, Chris, why do you think those girls really like you?
I think probably because of the money, and I'm not going to deny it. I walk around with $100 bills hanging out of my pockets usually and try and give it my best shot, because before I ever made any money, it was pretty much big nothingsville.
Yeah.
I like girls that aren't too bright because you can trick them a little bit.
Oh!
The punk rockers all love me. Those are my big girls, and high school girls love me. 14 to 18, I'm a big star with them. As soon as they, as soon as they mature, after about 18 years old, they start figuring out that, wait a minute, I know there's better than that out there,
Christopher, we need to have a talk, young man. We need you to take a seat. Christopher, take a seat. Okay.
Okay. How old was he back then? In his 20s? So he's probably an idiot, number one.
He's probably I would say, if I had to guess back then, like early to mid 20s, right? Because you got to play college ball and then you go into the NFL. So he's probably around 24, 25, if I had to guess.
So this is something, obviously, I would imagine at this point in his life, he would look back and be cringing at it, I hope, because that was...
If you said something like that on national television during the halftime of a football broadcast, you would be national news for like a month if you did that. And back then, it was just like,
it's like I would, I'm not defending it, but I'm saying the mindset, I think, even up until that point was like, if you were a teen girl, it was still sort of like Jerry Seinfeld dated a 17-year-old, but she was a model. So I remember the thought process. People then was like, well, she's a model, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's like, no, this is a child. Like, what are you doing? Like, I think our grandparents' generation, if you were like 16, you could get married to like a 22-year-old or something. I don't know. It's very odd. It's very creepy. And
I like the fact that
this is bad.
Well, no, I don't think he's inherently creepy, because there's a thing. He admits that he's like, yeah, it's just because I got money now, and he knows that. And he walks around with the $100 bills, which is very funny. And he wears that dorky sweater, which is imagine getting laid in spite of wearing that sweater.
And those khakis.
That's God, man, what it must have been like to be a famous man in the early '80s, huh? That's unbelievable.
Everybody's dressed the same. Everybody has the same sweater on with just different colors.
Yeah. But yeah, that part at the very end about the I liked him in high school, and you're just like, oh.
Wait, let me hear what he said.
I walk around with $100 bills hanging out of my pockets usually, and try and give it my best shot, because before I ever made any money, it was pretty much big nothingsville.
Right.
I like girls that aren't too bright because you can trick them a little bit.
Okay.
The punk rockers all love me. Those are my big girls, and high school girls love me. 14 to 18, I'm a big star with them. As soon as they, mature, after about 18 years old, they start figuring out that, wait a minute, I know there's better than that out there,
So he was saying, okay, wait a minute. I'm not defending him. He was saying,
no, we're not.
14 to 18-year-olds like him. He didn't say he liked them, because he said, but at 18, they start to realize whatever. But
yeah, apparently as soon as they take one college level sociology class, they're too intelligent to date him, I guess, is what he's saying.
I don't know. Colin, between the Mexican, like, what's going on, man? They haven't replaced him. They keep replacing Tony Romo, who I thought did a good job, and then
I thought he was great too. Yeah,
and then because he knew the play that was coming before they called it, and then Brady replaced that other guy who wasn't terrible either, but Chris Collingsworth still has a job.
He's got a very distinct voice. I actually had the chance to meet him one time, and he's super cool. Like I really, we're not trying to get him in trouble with this or anything. I like Chris Collinsworth. I think he's a good announcer. And he's got a great voice, man. He's got that, like, when you think of Sunday Night Football, you think of this guy's voice. He's
right. I always liked him as an announcer. Yeah.
Like, he's currently 65. So if you subtract 40. Yeah, so he was exactly what I thought, like 23 to 25 when this was filmed. So I'm sure that 65-year-old Chris Collingsworth would see this and be like, Jesus Christ, I can't believe I said that in television. Oh my God. But it was the 80s.
Then you were close, and I don't know about the 14-year-old thing, but like if you're 18, 23,
that means he was legitimately with girls 10 years younger than him when he was like a year out of college. Like that's crazy.
It looks so bad. By the way, if you drop a match in that ballroom floor, everybody's hair catches on fire from all the hairspray. So yeah, point that out as well. Yeah, this didn't really age too well.
I gotta say though, the women back then, I liked that look with the poofy hair and like the shoulder pads. I think that was a good look on women. The men back then looked like total dorks, but
no, they totally they all look like calculator dorks. But
moving along what do we got next?
I'm always afraid we'll see like one of our parents in one of these old 80s. Like, Mom, Dad, what are you doing?
Yeah, one of our moms is just like on a pole, like greased up, just swinging around. Yeah, that would not be okay
at the club. All right, let's move on. Yeah, so let's do this one because the Giants play tomorrow, or the Giants lose tomorrow.
Yes, they do. They do lose tomorrow. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They lose tomorrow.
Let's look at this one with Phill Simms and some other people.
Enjoy yourselves, everyone. Some spread, huh?
Yeah, too bad I've only got 2 hands.
That's why I always bring an extra pair.
At Taco Bell, we're really piling on the bacon. From the BLT soft taco, to the bacon cheeseburger burrito, to the chicken club burrito. If you love bacon, you're gonna have your hands full.
Want anything while I'm up?
No. Phill, pass me a burrito.
The sizzling bacon menu, starting at just 99 cents.
I love everything about this ad. First of all, the audio is a little desynced, but whatever. Anyway, I just love the fact that they're at what looks like some cocktail or gala event, and there's Taco Bell on silver platters, and no one's acknowledging that. Like they're acting like this is totally normal.
I know. I want a BLT taco. They don't make those anymore.
Yeah, that looks amazing. It looks amazing. Are you kidding?
What's going on? So you got Chris Berman, you got Phill Simms, Jim Kelly. I think that's Thurman Thomas. I would imagine if he's holding Jim Kelly, so it's got to be.
Oh, we gotta find some Thurman Thomas ads for the next time they play against Buffalo. Oh man, yeah.
And LT just came out of the back. He was doing coke in the bathroom. Yeah. He'd be like, hell yes. And then so Taco Bell, BLT tacos.
99 cents too, man.
Oh man.
Every time I see old ads for fast food, I get triggered on here when we watch these because I'm always just like because right now that's whatever that is probably like $6 at Taco Bell. But back then it was 99 cents. Like,
that's not
give me a sizzling bacon BLT. Let's go.
They used to make a chicken bacon ranch chalupa, and that thing was incredible. And it was a limited time thing. And it's like, why would you make great things and make them limited? Like, I would be buying that every day if you kept it on the menu. Why does it have to go away? So
I know some of the greatest things ever have been on limited time menus. Like back in the day, Burger King had curly fries for like one summer, and it was the greatest summer of my childhood. Okay.
I met the guy who was like responsible for Taco Bell. He also created Cool Ranch Doritos. So he's like a god in my eyes. So like, I don't know. Maybe I can go dig through my job. I can dig through the channels and get this guy an email. I don't think he owns Taco Bell anymore. But like, can we bring that back? That would be nice. I don't know.
That'd be great if he, if you somehow knew the person in First Degree who had the power to send one text and just alter the Taco Bell menu back to what it used to be.
Yeah, it's the original Taco Bell. All right, let's go to this one. I don't know what it is. I probably saw it as a kid. This is John Elway for some kind of football.
New farthest flying Vortex Mega
the Vortex.
I'm John Elway. I set a world record by throwing the Vortex football over 90 yards.
I'm not John Elway, but I'm going to smash John Elway's record.
He's going to smash John Elway.
Mega Flight.
That was back before it was acceptable to do that kind of thing.
A new record, over 100 yards.
Awesome throw.
It's an awesome ball.
If you want to smash your own record, you want the new Vortex Mega Flight.
If you just pause that right there, if you want to smash.
You want to smash?
Take it out of context. So you never had the Vortex when you were a kid, did you, Mike?
No, I had something similar. A friend had it. it whistled, right? Didn't they have a whistle on it when you threw it? It whistled.
Yes, there used to be a football that had like a little whistle on the very side. This was, I want to say, because you're a little bit older than me, but not like super older. You might have been just out of the age range where they started advertising this all the time. But yeah, my neighbor next to me had a Vortex football. That thing was awesome. That thing, because it basically it auto spiraled itself because of those little like rudder things in the back. And you could throw it pretty far. So it was a lot of fun to play with because you thought you were better than you were.
Right.
Yeah, so, hell yeah. The Vortex. And I love this kid's haircut. He has like the Eric from Boy Meets World swipe thing with the going on here.
Listen to Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
And they're playing in Colorado. This is pre-Dion Colorado, so that's why it's empty. There's nobody there. Okay, so the orange one, whatever that was, I guess that was the
original Vortex, and now there's like the Vortex Pro or whatever, because that he introduced two of them.
So I had the Nerf Turbo football, which was cool, and that was like the one that was like the farthest football you could throw. It was like black and red, half and half, and then it had spiral. When you threw it, it was like, this is going far because it's got spirals in it and stuff. And it probably didn't, but it was cool. So this took it to a whole new level because it has a plain fin on the back of it. It's like a Da Vinci football, that thing.
Yeah, I love it.
Smash.
All right. And you mentioned smashing, and they didn't realize 30 years later that'd be an unintentional joke on the internet. So
they're going to smash John Elway. Oh, he's sorry. Yeah.
Well, Colorado's a pretty liberal place. They were one of the first weed states, right?
That's
so,
true.
I'm sure you can get away with that thing in Denver in the early 90s. Maybe you couldn't. I don't know. Who knows?
Smash. All right, let's go to this one. We did okay. Let's do this one. This is Snickers and Michael Strahan.
Hey, big old Michael Strahan, you ain't got nothing. Let me ask you something. How about them Cowboys? I said, how about them Cowboys? Woo! Oh yeah!
Offensive behavior. Another side effect of hunger. Stop hunger from stopping you. Grab a Snickers. Peanuts, caramel, and chocolate.
You forgot your hat!
Hungry? Grab a Snickers.
Wait, the guy survived the tackle?
Yeah. There's a lot. Now, first of all, is this the first guy at the stadium, or is this the last guy waiting in the parking lot to talk trash to him after the game?
I'm guessing
either the first or the last.
Yeah, that's a good question. I guessing this is the Meadowlands, which
the old Giant Stadium, which honestly is just as good as the new one because the new one sucks.
Yeah, they have flea markets in the parking lot of Giant Stadium. I've been to one. It's nothing great, but I'm just letting you know that.
Sure, it's not.
They had to film this around the flea market schedule, I would imagine. So, he looks like what's his name? The old Cowboys coach who became the Giants offensive coordinator, Jeff Jarrett. Was that the guy? Not Jeff Jarrett, the redheaded guy. That's who it looked like.
All right. So also shout out to AdRag and addtothebone.com for uploading
Add to the bone.
Whoever uploaded this. I love people that take the time to get these old ads and old things onto the internet so we can make fun of them. So that's pretty cool.
I got VHS tapes. I got to look and see if I have some commercials line. I got a converter and everything. I got to figure it out.
So, you have a VHS converter for real?
Yeah, well, I have a VCR DVD combo still because I have old home movies and old stand-up tapes that were on VHS.
Okay.
And I wanted to convert them, and then I never did. I used to have software that converted stuff, and then it didn't work. I got a new computer, so now I have a cable that you might be able to. I got to figure it out. I might be able to do it. It's supposed to work.
You could do it 3-step, and you could just do like VHS to DVD burn, and then buy an external DVD drive, and then rip it that way. It would be multi-step process, but it would work.
It's a lot of work.
This ad is fun though, because it's got a little bit of violence in it, and it's got a guy who I assume grew up to be a Trumper getting tackled, so I'm a fan of that. His car is a piece of garbage, whatever that is. I'm pretty sure I've ridden go-karts that have more horsepower than whatever kind of car that is as well.
You can tell he's a Cowboys fan because he's got the thing on backwards. the number one's supposed to go in the front panel. So,
yeah.
Cowboys fans aren't bright.
Nah.
I don't know. Just kidding around.
Even though they've beaten the Giants 412 times in a row.
I know.
Unfortunately. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, he would be arrested today for this Michael Strahan. He would be canceled. But the fact that guy was able to run away at full speed means he probably didn't hit him that hard. Which I would be, if I was Michael Strahan, I would be insulted. Like the guys would be dead.
Well, maybe Michael Strahan ran up and he, instead of tackling him, he just kind of picked him up and then just kind of put them down. Maybe. I like to try to see the best in people, Mike.
Yeah.
Or is that the end, or is there one more?
No, we got one more. So I remember this commercial came out, and it was a really big deal because Don Mattingly was in it and Phill was in it, but it doesn't really show the Yankees in a good light. But it's still
cool. Hold on. I want to shout out to my buddy Danny for sending me this, and also that last one because one of my friends from work sent me like a whole. He found out we were doing vintage ads, and I don't know how or why, but he somehow had 40 or 50 of them ready to just send me, which is awesome. And he sent me that one. He sent me this one too, which I thought was actually a pretty fun. I remember this ad from when I was a little kid, and this is a very, very good ad.
Let's watch.
So yeah, let's rock, man.
Let's watch. If it'll go. And it's not
bottom of the seventh. Mattingly at bat. 1 out. Runner on third. Here's the pitch. Mattingly hits it deep to right center.
I got it.
I got it.
Field of Dreams? I remember that. I forgot.
There's some good comedy writing in this commercial.
Yeah, this is good.
I got it.
Muscle Beach. Is that John and Jess?
Here's the throw across the USA and in the Yankee Stadium, and it's going to be close. Mr. Umpire says the kid's got an arm.
Just do it.
Would that technically be an out?
Well, I think with the amount of dirt and everything, I think it would be that'd be a replay challenge if it were done today.
So who's on third? That Rizzuto says. I wonder if that was anybody. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. This was like I would have been maybe 7 or 8 when this came out, so I don't know.
Who pads? I heard Ron.
I was still playing, so yeah.
So I think this was 94.
I think it was 95. Didn't it say on the screen 95?
Oh yeah, so they have the 125th anniversary patch. That's what's on his Mattingly's jersey on his shoulder. So and it was a hell of a beautiful swing right. we didn't get a chance to see this because we were too young. You know, like I was very young when Mattingly.
I vaguely remember Mattingly.
Yeah, I remember him. I remember seeing him play.
Looks like my dog's home. I can. If Benji wants to join this video, he can.
But I remember this was a great commercial. I mean, the Yankees, this was right before they became the Yankees again. So seeing Mattingly in a commercial was like, wow, they actually care about the Yankees. So, you know.
The thing, too, with Griffey was he was known for hating the Yankees ever since he was a kid. So I'm sure that whoever wrote this commercial, when he saw the script, he was like, absolutely, I'll film this. And then they got, of course, Mattingly to do it. And and he got to kind of own the Yankees on, in a very funny comedic way, which is I'm sure he liked a lot.
I mean, the Red Sox stadium is a little further east, so if they're trying to go for the whole, he went from the farthest point to the other point. They could have went to Boston. Just saying. So yeah, I think.
But he didn't hate them. So
right, he didn't hate, as far as we know. But yeah,
maybe he did.
That you can Google why it's racism, and it's just stupid. But yeah.
Yeah, very much. Also, shout out to Ad Eater, who I assume is who uploaded this, because that's where the logo is on the screen right there.
You're an Ad Eater.
Yeah, I love this. Brooklyn Bridge.
The
Empire State. Let's see if we can name off. So I guess that implies he ran across the lake, which is very funny as well.
It's like Jesus. Yeah. I like the funny thing is here is when he's running through New York traffic, nobody cares, and that's the beauty of filming in New York. Nobody cares. If anything, he was in the way. Nobody wants his autograph.
It's New York. He could have stopped and taken a shit in the street, and nobody would have cared. You can do whatever you want in this, and that's back when New York was dirty too. That was back when deciding to leave the stadium and run through the South Bronx was the most dangerous part of this video. Okay.
Well, what was one of the past episodes we watched? The Jim Rice thing, and back then we found out that some woman. There was a bullet in her purse because when she left the stadium, somebody shot a gun. It was something crazy.
That's hilarious.
That's how violent New York was back then. People would get upset about now. And look, some of it is media nonsense. Some of it is, the city's been a little sloppy, but like nothing compared to what it was. 95 is right when things just started to turn around.
That was when the Yankees lost to the Mariners, and then that was what
this
lit
is
a
what
fire
started
into that team, and that was it. So that's great ad, honestly, great. I have nothing against Griffey, even though he hates the Yankees. He's cool, you know.
And he didn't do steroids, as far as we know. So
yeah,
there you go. That's a show. One thing I wanted to mention, I've been meaning to mention, is that we've been getting positive comments for a change. People have been watching the commercials and they're saying thank you, and I remember this, and people have been giving us corrections but not being assholes. Like, they've actually been like, well, this is just a backstory, and like, we love that. I mean, we will also take you calling us assholes and making fun of us.
Please, we prefer you to call us assholes.
But the nice people who've been out of their way to like, hey, we like your channel, and like, yeah, that's really why we're doing this.
Well, that's the fun thing about the internet, is that you and I are just watching this for like the kind of almost like case studies, because we don't really a lot of this is before our time. These ads, a lot of the ads we've been watching are older than we are, and so if for us it's not the nostalgia factor, it's just sort of like we're checking out this old thing to make fun of it because it's goofy and wouldn't fit in the present moment. But then people who are old enough who stumble across our channel have been giving us the actual backstory and telling us like, hey, this ad was actually da-da-da-da-da, and you guys should check this out. And like, so no, it has been really cool. And of course we've gotten a few hate comments too, but and we welcome those as well. We're going to do a whole episode of responding to comments at some point soon. So
that'll be fun. Because like this is just all for fun. We don't know anything about anything. This is all for fun.
Yeah, we half the time we only watch a few seconds of an ad to make sure the video is like okay to watch, and then we just play. We don't even watch it. We just react to it live. So it's been fun, and it's been cool. You know, seeing people kind of digging what we're doing. So
appreciate it.
Good times. All right. Well, I'll see you next week, man.
See you next week. Go Yanks.
All right. Hopefully.